Hello, designers and design lovers. Welcome to Imperfect Design. Today we will pass through the design system components. I will show you the structure of atomic design and what options you have. We will uncover the list of basic components that could be in this design system, prepare a few components, and for sure to see how they could be used in the pages you have. Meanwhile, if I missed something or you would like to know something more, please leave a comment below. I will answer it or I will record another video for this specifically. Meanwhile, I hope you will enjoy this journey with me and let's go. Okay, let's start with atomic design by itself, what actually it's about. I will not describe it perfectly because there are a lot of information in internet and YouTube videos. Just very briefly to have an idea, if you're not familiar, right? The atomic design system is the structure of nesting the previous, like one next level, nesting the previous level. So what we start with atoms. Atoms is the smallest components, not by size, but in the structure. It means they cannot be broken less than they already exist. You cannot divide them in different types of. Molecules is the next level, which it could be a combination of atoms, right? So it will be already a mix of atoms that create the one life thing that calls molecules. Organism at the next level, that will be combination of molecules and atoms, and etc. So what it will be, templates in this case, it's not really the right representation, I would say, because templates is just the structure of the plates by itself, how it could work, what the main pages will look like. But it as a basic of pages, yes, it's presented here, but pages already will contain everything from atoms, molecules, organisms, the organization, the hierarchy between them, how actually they work together as a part of the product you're working on. So I created a list of the basic components that they could be a part of this section of atomic design. And today I'm going to design a few of them. Not we have no time, and you will be pretty bored, I believe. If you're interested in some specific component that I didn't cover in this video, please let me know, and we can make a separated video with this. Meanwhile, we'll start with atoms. Let's go. Before to start, just a small note aside, you can structure the Figma file as you prefer. I mean, you can set all the parts like atoms, molecules, etc. on the individual pages. You can place them in the same pages but in different sections like this ones. That's what I did, already prepared for this video. But you can the question is like, well, how to structure the styles and the components. I right now, because we're working on some fictional, fictional, not really existing company, the product by itself, right? I do this. It's pretty small, expecting a small design system. I keep styles and components in the same file. But I experienced a very bad behavior of Figma when I have many components. So I would need to separate styles as individual file, or it could be shared on different projects if they are unified styles. But components, it will be another file. It's up to you how you structure them, how you represent them. Maybe it could be also each component on the individual page, which is also easy to find, easy to manage. Depends on amount of components you have. So it's up to you. There are no real rules. It's how your team collaboration with the developers also you need to agree, because they also need to go often to this file. And so please think not just about yourself, about your team and the cross team, the functional teams. Okay, the atoms, let's go. We have a few important components. I see like avatars, breadcrumbs, buttons, inputs, pills, and etc. is something that you cannot break smaller. So I'm going to take a few of them. Let's say the first four. Anyhow, let's start. How will be the inspiration, and then we will work with this. Okay, let's start with avatar. What we need to do for avatars, first of all, we will go with the ellipse. Right, we take it. The minimum size of our avatar, let's say, will be 16. right? I create a component of a weight. I will name it, okay, avatar. So now I need to create the variant. The second one will be 20. So I use 4-point system. And so each next value should be 4 pixels more, or divide by 4, 28 and 32. Okay, that's pretty much. Now, I would say like this, we would need to fill them with the image that we created last time in the style. So if you remember, we have this user's image. So that's what we have. Now we need to set, as I lazy, I just create a variant from each of these sizes, 24, 28, and 32. Why I'm doing this again? Why I do the second time? Because I'm going to change the field for them. Oh, because the idea here is to have not just image, right, but also what if the user has no image, not upload. You always can suggest a default pictures, like a list of default pictures, like Gmail does, for example. But also it's nice to have initials, right? So that's where we're going with this option. So I fill up. Now I need to place the text, but before this, let's set the property. We have the first property, which will be size. We have first size will be 16. That's what we just said. Then we have 20. Now we have 24, 28, and 32. That's what we have with the style. Now we need to set the initials by themselves. So for this, we would need text. Let's say AB as our initials. We go in maybe with medium. Need to set the gray 800. Anyhow, gray 800. We're going with, let's say, 8 pixels. First, we start with this one because we need to know what actually how it will match the sizes of our avatar. So let's go here and see how it will be. Yeah, perfect. 8 is perfect. Now we need to set the value for this initial. So every new copy paste for me already will be set with these properties. Okay, let's go ahead. We need to create a text. We call it initials and the value AB. We create the property. Okay, great. And now we need to link our text to this property. So here we're going to initial, done. Now I copy it, go to the next component, place, and I need to set more size. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, definitely. It's not more or less like this. I would say, what? Okay, I will center this. And also I believe it will help if I do like this. Yes. Okay, I would fake it slightly. Now we're going to the next one, and now I will just continue with the rest. So I will speed up a bit what I'm doing. Okay, now we have the set all the initials. Now we need to set a variant, the type of our avatars. And for this, we say, okay, we need a variant. We call it type. And by default, for all, let's say, type will be picture. Great. But these guys, they would need to be initials. Initials. Great. So that's it. So let's check how it works. Saying this, a picture, I say initials. I can change it to GL and I can change the size. Yes, it's slightly changing, I believe, because this text is not, not center aligned. This is already, all center aligned. Just was the first one missing. Okay, great. And let's try again. Check our work. Going with 28. Popo. Yes. Okay. That's a picture, and I can change the picture using our design system. Now let's create an avatar group, which is also important thing when you have meetings, let's say in your product, or like multiple users should be displayed at the same time. So how we go? We definitely will go with the smallest one, the smallest we have. So let's copy it. So 2, let's say 3, 4, 5. Maybe you define the amount of maximum avatars to show. I would say 5, and the last one is actually will be initials, and we will say, let's say 5, 3 plus 5, done. And maybe give it a gray 300, 200. Okay, so something like this. Now we need to create an auto layout. What it was on the top, I didn't get. What do we have here? Interesting. So we go in here, going auto layout, and then we need a negative gap, right? So let's say something like -4, already good. Now we need to set the pictures. And let's create the components out of this auto layout, saying avatar slash group up. Okay, now we have it. We need to set all of them. Let's say this one will be not a picture, this will be initials. I would like to change it on some blue, and it will be, let's say, EK, and this one will be a picture, and this one will be again initials, and maybe it will be some other colors we have, something like this, and it will be PL. Okay. So this is the group. Maybe also to help user to see the difference, I would add a small border, a stroke, and it will be F outside 100%, and we need to give the border radius. Yes. Okay, so we separate the pictures one from another, and that's how it will look when we hold. Maybe 16 will be too big, but we test. If it's too much, we always can create, like, add another variant that will be 8 pixels. Okay, now when we're done with avatar, maybe I will place it on the segment. Let's say it will be a section. Sorry, I will put it here as an avatar, so it will be easy to find also. So let's start to create our breadcrumbs. I copy paste the icon I created as a component using font awesome. So I can select the styles. They have a thin, and let's say our original is home where we started. Then 28 is too much, I believe. Let's go always closer to the text we have. Then we use the text. So let's say we started from as we working on the company that works for the trade show booth, right? And the product is when the user can create their own booth. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, check the previous video from design system I had. And this where we're saying, okay, so maybe we say in my booth or something like this, my booth. Yeah, it's a font awesome. But here we have the styles we set, and the breadcrumbs will be the smallest. So I would use subtext for in this case. Okay, both. Now we need to set the color. Let's come back also to gray 800. That could work for us. Let's say this, and then maybe we have another icon that I think we need less. I need to reorder the stuff, which is not clear. Let's say chevron right. Right? Show to user that, okay, there are the logic, the breadcrumbs really showing you your path you did with this, right? So now we need to auto layout them. It should be something like 4, I believe. So I would go with this and go in another text, and this go in another, and let's say editor, and here will be like a new booth, right? Something like this. It will help us to understand already what is going on. Maybe before to create this, it should be the smallest one, but I will create the base, let's say, for this component. So it will be component. We set it smaller to 16, something like this, maybe 12, even like this, and say a breadcrumbs base. Okay, so this will be the component. Why I say base, in the beginning we need to put a lower underline, so to not be published when I'm going to publish it. But I would like to have 2 states. So the regular default, right? Let's say this will be a state default, and hover. Basically, we would need also to have a focus state. Yeah. Unavailable, I'm not sure we will need it like disabled, but we're going with this one. Okay. Okay, so let's see how I think it will be. Why we need focus? Because some users who use the keyboard to navigate, we need to show to them. Okay, so this is how it looks. This is how it will work. Yeah, that's what you select could select before you select. So in this case, I would definitely have a stroke. Yeah, let's say it will be some bluish. Do we have something already blue, right? Maybe the let's try again. We need something like this. I think it's maybe not enough. Let's go wider and we add some borders. Too much. Okay. It definitely would be nice to have it a bit spacing. We can add to all of them something like this. So actually I will redo this because I'd add the spacing. So this will be focused and we need default and we need the hover. So this focus, this will be default. Let's say default. And we definitely for default, we don't need any borders. Then we need a hover, which is also, I believe, borders we don't need, but the text by itself would be nice. I believe we don't have any text for this. We can go with this one so far. So this state will say hover, and this will be focus. Okay, focus. This is our component. In general, we say, okay, I can set straight away the how it should work, or say this is while hovering. And focus, I cannot set because it definitely works with the keyboards. But right now we need to change in our main component this stuff. Well, actually, yes, let's do in the base also we set there, let's say text and homepage create. Done. So now we need to set this text to our value. Okay, so this is it. So here we're saying my booth. Here we're saying editor maybe, and new booth. Okay. Okay, that's what we have. And let's create a component out of this breadcrumbs. So we're doing components and we name it breadcrumbs. Done. So that's what we have. This is the base, it works, and that's how works the component by itself. Okay, now we can place them on the section also, and then yes, this is component ready to go. Oops. Done. Breadcrumbs. Very good. Now we go to the next component, which are buttons. One of the most complicated components you could work with. So if you remember, if not, you can check another video. Here's what I said, like a very quick possible website of this company that AI generated, ChatGPT generated for us. I mean, the page did I did by myself, but the idea of the company generated by AI. But here you see I set already the buttons that we can go with this idea. So we have primary, secondary. We need to find the tertiary ones, and that could be the accent color, the yellow one. But again, this is a website, it could be a slightly different rules with the usage of button, because if we're talking about our product by itself, it is really editor. And when you create your booth, this yellow, how well it will stay, I'm not sure the yellow in this case would be a good choice. But so far we're going with this. Let's say the yellow is the way. Okay, what do we need for button? Button basically is icon, text, icon, maybe separation. Okay, let's go with this. I copy paste the icon and the text from our tabs, from our breadcrumbs. What it should be here for sure, subtext for button is very small. Button needs to be bigger. Let's go maybe with 16. Okay, and we need to align our icon also to our text. So let's say 16. How it will look? Let's align them together. Okay, pretty much. So let's figure out how actually what buttons we could have. We need to have a regular button, we need to have a drop down button and split drop down button when the two sides of one button works separately, individually. Okay, so we need for how it will look, right? We could set, let's say, I will do in a different way. Let me try. I'm not sure how it will work. So I don't need actually text in the super part, but let's say this is, there will be a drop down. And maybe not sure, we will use something. Why I'm doubting, because the way how I usually do, from my last few months I started doubting it. It's normal to challenge yourself, your decision, etc., because it's too complex way. I have separated, I have normal button as a component, I have drop down button as a component, but actually it could be unified. I believe we just need to find the right way of it. Okay, let's say we have a separation, which I believe two will be, maybe even one will be enough for us. So far, let's select everything and say it will be uh, our navy blue. Let's try again. Okay, and now we will say that what this color is. I think gray 800. Okay, I need to select everything, and we say that we're going with navy blue. That's what I want to use. I want to use for, sorry, misclick, and navy blue also, and for gray it will be navy blue. Yes, I'm sure with this one. Now we're saying that this guy and this guy, they actually will be one. Outer layout also definitely need to be bigger. The break would be nice if you will hug. Okay, and now we say where's 16? Who is who is the bad guy in this situation? Let's see, 16 perfect frame. Oh, okay, this because it's not really hugging this one. Yeah. Why? Okay, we don't know why we have already a few of them. So probably you need to do like this, and I replace this one. Okay, perfect. Now we have 8. Let's go with 8 for beginning. And so maybe we need to set on this side 8 pixels also. So it will look like a button by itself. Okay. And this will be a chevron down, right? Because this is the drop down button. So it's chevron down because I use font awesome. So you can, let's say it will be 8 small one. You can place there the icons that if you use UI kit, it's not a problem. I just, to avoid questions, I use font awesome as the base of the icon. Okay, maybe I have a slightly smaller. Yeah, I believe this will work better. At least with the house, we'll check ourselves later. So we need to set also the sizes. You see, this one is already 25. I need 28 for the smallest button I'm going to start with. So it means it's missing right now, but I can actually, instead of having it hugging, I can fix it at this point, and I need to fill this part. Okay, that's what will, as we already decided it will be yellow button, our primary one, so I can fill it with yellow. 500, good. And now we're going with these guys. They also need to be 28. Great, right? Already become better. And now we set the padding by itself. The padding on the sides will be, let's say, 12. Now we need to unify them in one outer layout to have it as the button. Okay, I would say 12 is too much. So let's try, 8 is too much, but it's a gap. But 12 is too much, right? Focus, Alana, focus. And sets yellow as the background color. Okay, so this is actually the button there, how it will look with the drop down. I would say the drop down right now it's too small. So let's go wild with this big chevron. Okay, that's what we have. And now we set the border radius, the corner radius, which I believe it should be like absolutely rounded. And I need to clip it. Okay, now I see that definitely for my button, I need more paddings around. So I need to set for this one, at least for the left side, it will be, let's say, 12. right? But again, if I take out the drop down function, it will be not center aligned. So I need to keep them symmetrical. Okay, so this will be it. And now we need to set, first of all, we need to set all the states. It will be a base of our button. So I will create a component of it and say it needs underline first because we're not going to base to publish it. It will be a base of the button, right? So button base. Now we're going with the set. So states. So we need to create a property which will be a variant, right? And this variant will say state. So let's try again. State. Perfect. And the first state will be default. Yeah, this is our default state. So button by default looks like this. Now we're going into outer layout of my component and set like 16 brick. Okay, now we need to have another state that will be hover. Okay, so how actually will look our hover button, right? For sure, for split, in reality, in design, we don't really need it. We can fake it as needed. But in reality, in your designs, you just place it how it is. It's default button, unless you need to show to developer, okay, when I hover, it works like this, and maybe there are a tooltip or something. So that's in this case, just right now, I will do generic hover. So I will not separate one and another button. Okay. Okay, so we need to adjust our yellow. I believe the 700 not good. So I break it and try to find something maybe more in an orange way. Okay, something like this. Yeah, so this will be hover. At least ready. I will see the. You always can try to see. First, I will set now on while hovering, and now I would like to see how actually it works. Want to in a quick preview. Okay, this is very small. So this is my button, and I can see, okay, it's changing. Maybe it's slightly darker, but I will not fight right now for this. Okay, I remove the connection and prototype to not be aligned to, to assign to all further states I will work on. Okay, so we're going to next state, which is focus. And this is something that when user use keyboard to navigate in your screens, we need to show to user that right now you are focused on the button. So when you click enter, it will mean press for the system, right? So I would, and that's a good point actually. For my components, the part of my components, I need to set the border because what idea, what I'm thinking, why I'm pausing. In general, we need to have a border for the focus. It's how it usually show to user navigating by keyboard with keyboard. That's okay. This is focus state. But if I add it in this specific, let's say now navy blue, in this specific case only, yeah, the rest it will be popping also the size, the spacing. So it means I need to set here the stroke for everywhere. Is okay, here I have no color. It was this one. It's okay to have like 1 pixel top bottom. It doesn't bother me, to be honest. Yellow 500. So this will be the case. So this is focus, and now we need disabled. Yeah, imagine saved button when user didn't select required fields, didn't fill required fields. We need to have this option to show how will look actually the button when it is user enabled to click on it. Well, this too much, do something lighter, and for sure the text and the border should go also something like this. Ooh, three too much. Let's do a bit more visually so you know that there is a button. We don't need the border be in this case. The stroke doesn't need to be align with the text color, it needs to be aligned with the background color to follow the main button stars. Okay, so this what we have. Now we're going further. We're going with the next style we have, which actually we also can set. We need to create another variable, sorry, another variant, which will be style. Or you can get priority, or anyway you like hierarchy, anything you how you feel it the best, how your team works, depends on your vocabulary, and it will be primary by default. Okay, so that's what we have. Now I need to have I will do this in a different way. Let me to create a variant up like this. Choo, choo. And now I need to move all of them at once at the bottom. Do, 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 do. Done. So this actually will be, the states are staying the same. We don't change, but the style will change because it will be secondary button. And let's see, the secondary button in our case will have a white background. Again, we're going back to internal, right? We're going saying, okay, we will have a white button, but we will have a border which will be a stroke that will be gray, let's say 400. Yeah, this is our secondary button. Always can place them together and see how actually they work. Is it dragon? Okay, this is the button and this is the button, right? So we align them. Let's see, there will be like 60. Again, 60. Okay, so this the buttons we have, and I think they pretty much clear. This is secondary, this is primary, and we going with these results. That's my decision. Okay, with this interesting button, also the background on hover, now we need to change slightly because we need to show to user that this is clickable. We could go with the gray, yeah, but also because on hover we need to show it and it's closer to white background style, but we can also go with yellow 100. Not sure this will work well, to be honest. Let's go with gray. Okay, I believe the stroke also needs to be darker. Let's go with 400. So you focus, it's the same contrast level. Yeah, the same contrast. Okay, so this one we change to white because as following the same styles as here, we have just the very strong border accent. So you can see this is selected, and disabled, it will be the same styles. And honestly, I would adjust now to make it slightly lighter the background for disable button. Okay, something like this. Yeah? Otherwise, it's too heavy. It could be on the screen. Now we're going forward and we need the tertiary button. So we can do this and do again selection and going down. Okay, need slightly increase my section. Okay, and tertiary button, which is those guys, right? We need say tertiary. Okay, those are our guys. And we're going with the styles. The most important with these guys, they have no stroke. So now I select just one color to unify them to be able to delete it once. So this the idea. The only, this is actually a good point. I'm so modest. I just say that I had a very nice idea of something. Okay, so this shouldn't have a border, and also it should not have a background. Okay, so we have absolute. So we can place on any background the tertiary button. It could be light blue or light yellow or any other secondary or additional extra colors we have in our design system. The hover we definitely need to show. We don't need the border here, and we need to have a hover. And focus is still, we need to have the same, keep the focus, right? It's the same focus style. It will be look pretty similar and doesn't, it's not a problem at all. And the tertiary is also should be hundreds. Oops, gray 100. Here we are. So this our stats. What else? What do we need to set in this button base component? Let's set all more details, like how it works with the icon, how it works with the drop down function. Okay, so let's set first maybe the text because our text still saying my booth, which is not the best for our placeholder. Okay, so we're saying a button text value. Okay, and we say maybe button. Okay, it could be button placeholder or anything. So now we select, I should do this for the very first button I created to avoid this multiple work, but nobody's perfect, right? And that's how we do right now. Okay, button text value. Okay, we need hog. That's the way. Okay, that's now we need to create a boolean that would say leading icon. Oops, leading icon. Great. And this also that should be done the very first button. So I created one, I need to set this only once, not all, because okay, in our case maybe just not so many options, but it could be many at the end. Okay, let's go here and we're saying leading icon. Great. Now we're saying this is a drop down. um yeah, okay, let's do the boolean. I paused again thinking about how would be better to say true false as the variant or set a proper boolean. Let's go with the proper boolean and say drop down style. Yeah, okay, that's the way. And this actually is this component that we select. Well, will it work like this? Yeah, okay, finally working. Sometimes this function say me there are no results found or something like this. Anyhow, so this will be drop down style. Okay, and another thing that we need to select is this guy. We're trying to find all of them. Yes, we have it. It's perfect. And we need to you create first the properties which say boolean also, and I say split. Whoops, split. How it will be split in passive voice? No idea. So we say split stuff. Sorry, English not my native language, but I'm doing my best. Okay, so let's try again to catch this vertical separation everywhere as possible. And now we need to assign it to the split stuff. Okay, I see also that somehow visually it's not perfect. We need this 1 pixel, or I don't know why, but the Sharon doesn't look, it is in the center. So I select all of this option and increase a little bit. Okay, 1 pixel, it's not perfect, it's not 4 point system number, but I believe visually it looks better like this. And maybe actually I still go with this and try to find it smaller. It was from beginning, but just use solid maybe. Yeah, that would be the way. Okay, perfect. Now we're going forward, and because it was just the button base. Now we're going for the button by itself, the original component that we will use. For this, I will need to take one variant here, create a new component out of it, and say button. Uh, I don't know. So this is say space because when I have this separation, it's how I will use this, how system will define me, will show me when I will use it in my designs. And I would need to change, for example, the components and how we'll identify how to split the options available. So I would say button and a main button, I would call like this. Okay, so we're going forward and saying I would add one extra component. So why we need this another component? Because we're going to avoid a billion options in one component. I would like to avoid to have, how to say, I need to set 3 sizes minimum for button. It means for each of them I need to set 3 different sizes, and it would be a nightmare. It would be a huge spreadsheet. That's what we don't need. Only thing here, I will also nested the first, the leading icon. And with the second one, we go in and say, okay, if you're going to use a secondary, like trailing icon, you can just duplicate it and it will be after text here on the first part of the component, right? So, by the way, we didn't try component by itself, how it works after we set all the properties. So, for example, I'll say leading icon I don't need, or I have a drop-down style, but split, I have no split, for example, so it works. Or if I sell, it's not a drop-down style. Why are you thinking? Figma slowed a bit. Okay, so this is the pattern we have. Actually, it's nice. We have a tertiary, or we have it focused, and it works here. Okay, now we go in here and say, what we going to set. The first button, the smallest button we have is 28 pixels. The next button we have should be 32 pixels. So maybe instead of having this body one, we need to set, they have here prepared body 0. It's not the perfect sizing, but one level up. I will change the size of the icon to 16 also, right? And this one, maybe now we can work with 12. And definitely this button needs bigger paddings. Yeah, this one 9 and cap 8. So we need to say 12, and here also maybe slightly smaller to have proportions. And we set fixed height for this button, which will be 32. So now, okay, so let's go with this one. I go in here and say we have 32 pixels, and we need to set these guys to fill. Okay, that will be. Figma has some issues with these fill hug options when you copy paste component, when you replace component. So I would say I already accepted it as a fact. Okay, imagine we need another button which is bigger, right? And instead of 32, it will be 36. That's the button. It means we need to change the paddings we have to 20, and these guys also need to change. First, we need to increase this. Maybe a bit like this. Yeah. This we have 32, 36, and maybe smaller. We just need to 28, make it fixed. Okay, and these guys, they are filled. Okay, so this will be it. Now we need to create a property which says size. Yeah, and we're going with small, or maybe it's extra small, medium. Depends on your need. Again, you can change the way you name the sizes you need, because it depends on your product. Again, let's check what we did, if it's working or not. It's always a mystery, especially with buttons. Again, the most complicated. Okay, what I forgot is nested instance. A button base, that's what we need. So here, when I select it, I have this option. So it means I can select the size, I can select the state, and I can say this style. So for example, it's secondary button, not focus, because the same, but say it's disabled and there is no leading icon, and it's actually not a drop-down style. So that's what it is. And now if I change the size, it should be all the same. All the same. That's all. So that's the button, and I believe I can put it on the section. Need a section, and we call it button. Very good. And now we're going with inputs. So first of all, what actually inputted? Let's maybe copy the icon and the text from the button, because that's what we also will use. So what input by itself? So we have text, we have icon, leading icon. We would need, let's create an auto layout straight away and say it will be it. Perfect. So I would take another time. So we have a trailing icon, which will be very famous. And another will be chevron down, which is our drop down. So if we have an input with the drop down option, it also will be here. Okay, we will go with solid and 8, the same as we did on a button. Okay, the only thing here, maybe it would require individual outer layout. I would just set a bit bigger the spacing around, and maybe even 4. And this one. So that's how it will be. Now we can set the size, let's say, to 80 for our, yeah, okay, for our input. The text in this case should be filling. Okay, align left, and also maybe go with smaller, like 12. The smallest we will have input, it will be like this. So this is the input where user actually will type something. We need to set the padding for it. Let's go with 4 and 4. Set the radius like 4 and give some background. I would give a color for it. Okay, it could be white with the borders and etc. But here I would see also it would be nice to add slightly more on the left side, something like this. I also can check straight away here how it will work if there is no icon, and yes, it definitely works good. What else we have actually in input, because if definitely it's not all, we need a label, we need a hint text that will explain what this input about, or it could be error text or success text. So we need to add it here. Let's go with this and say it in our case. It will be the smallest option possible. We hug it and we say it's a label, maybe placeholder. Okay, placeholder. So it will be here. Then we have some text, some hint or error or success text is going here. Okay, that will be here. We definitely need some other color for this one. The hint text should be lighter, definitely. Also, default state of input is when there's no text, and we need to keep it also grayish. Let's say like 5. Okay, good. Now we create a outer layout out of this, reduce the gap between, let's say, very, very close to be feeling like it's the same thing, right? That's what we need. Another thing, while I remember, we need to add a border. The stroke here is important because it has the same function as in the button. So when we will do the other states, where we will use the border, so the original also should have it to not have popping on the way. So we go into the stroke, gray hundreds. Yes, there is. So that's what we have. Now we can create actually a component of it and call it input. In the beginning, we do underline, so we not really publish it. But now we need to set all the possible properties we have. So first of all, we go in with the first property. They say state. And this variant will say default. We don't need actually to change it. Another thing, we have a lot. We need to create a lot of booleans. Let's go ahead. We start the first one. We say label. Yes. Now we're going with the boolean that says hint text. Hint text. Now we have another boolean that would say leading icon. Good. And we're going with another boolean that say X icon, or maybe X button, but let's say this. It's this one that we're, and now we're going in a bit deeper in the label. Okay, what actually I mean is that we need to set, is it possible to be set, is it required, is it optional, or maybe any other additional thing you need, you can set it also there. So how actually do we do that? I need to go to this text, put it in the outer layout, so it will be working. I would say like 8 pixels from beginning. Let's start. Text inside should be hugging. Outer layout, please, on the left. So we have a label placeholder. We have another part that's maybe in parentheses says this is required. And now we duplicate again and say this one is optional. Okay, optional, I will put a gray, more gray way, because it shouldn't be in conflict with the main label. Um, Maybe 5. Hmm. And the required, we go with the red ones, which I believe the status I didn't set, but we're going with this. Okay, so now we have to set another booleans. One of them saying required, and one more that would say optional. Okay, now I believe we set with this one. I'm going with the text. Text. We're going label text value, and we're going with a label a placeholder. Now we need another text. Let's see how many properties just for one simple component. So we're going with input value, and here we say a placeholder. Okay, create, and one more text that would say hint text placeholder, whatever, value. Yeah, and here we say some hint, hint or error or success. Text is going here. Done. Okay, now we need to set all this stuff. One I forgot for sure. So all of these elements actually they need these settings is one more boolean that would say a drop down style. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so now we're going, we need to set. So we have the first one in a row which says it's label. We're going to require it and say this is required. Optional is optional. So we have a leading icon also set um, in the layer by itself. So, but text we go in here saying this is our label value. Oops, it's a input value. Sorry, input value. Okay, so labels also I need to set here. Label. We don't need text for required and optional because it's always the same. It doesn't change. But this text we need to send to hint text. Okay, this is an X icon. This is a drop-down style. Drop-down style. Okay, and I believe this also need to say hint text. Let me see. All of them set. We have no warning icon here, so it's perfect. Now we can go ahead and let's try. Let's try again this auto layout and give me another option. Thank you so much. And this will be hover. And hover is pretty simple. We will affect only the input background by itself, which I can go but if this is too much, maybe we will go right now with something colored so you can see, okay, this is hovering, how it's happening. For sure, we need to define this better in the styles to figure out what will be hover, because the text also need to be affected, maybe slightly dark. Oops, what is 300 here in After 5? Okay, so something like this. Not sure. Maybe keep it 5. Okay, this another state. And then we go in with the focus. Again, did you focus? That's what we need for keyboard. And here where we need to set our, it's pretty much the default one, right? We have 100, and we go in here with the navy blue that we use in another places also. This is the basic, but also we need to set another important things like how looks actually the field. So, I mean, when it is filled, so what I mean is we need to set how looks the text. So what the color of the text when it's filled, and it will be our navy blue, this one, okay? And we need to select this, say oops, and set it as state filled. Perfect. I think I need to increase slightly the gap because they cannot see them properly. They're too close to each other. Maybe still do it. And now we're going with the other possible states. Like we have disabled. disabled, we're going with, it should be difference between default and disabled, right? And if we're going this with 500, maybe it should be 4 or 3, something that it's not clear. But I would keep the text 500, but also the icons that we have, they also go with the same 500. So in this case, it will be more clear to user that they are not really functional, and we can set slightly darker, not like slightly, but darker the input by itself. In this case, it will look like, yeah, okay, something is different from the others. I can see, okay, what is wrong actually. And then I cannot click, and it could be explanation why I cannot click on it. Now we need to set another options that are possible. It's like, okay, we have default, but also it's not actually for default, it's for field. We could have success and error state for this input, right? So let's go ahead and say, okay, this option will be success. Success. How actually it works? Pretty often the text has the success color. I believe I did not set for some reason the status colors here, but let's invent one right now because okay, have no a bit more in bluish way. I believe it would be nice for us. We need, okay, big in this side. Okay, maybe going warmer. Okay, we'll go with this. And also we will use the border as an indicator of the success. And definitely this color is, I don't know, something like success 700, pretty dark style. And we're saying status, and it will be success. Okay, 700. I can select the 700, but it's pretty depressive success, I would say. So we need to figure out how to, from this color, we need to find a more positive way, right? To find this a bit more color. It's okay if it would be accessibility not perfect because it's not really much functional here. Okay, yeah, it could be like this. Okay, the success, great. Now we're going for air state. Air. In this case, we do opposite. Instead of green, we're doing red. We're going to our 700, going this, and we, instead of this one, we use a red 500. Oops, yeah, something happened. This is looks scary. This is definitely looks scary. That's what we expect out of this. Okay, so input slash base. Looks like we set it. Okay, let's try how actually it works, and does it work. We go in here and saying, yeah, and this success, maybe I would like focused. I need to rename this one. It is second because this is not beautiful named. The state, oops, try again. State focused. Okay, that's it. Now we go in here and saying I have no text, the hint text. This is definitely optional, and I don't need leading icon, and it's not a drop down style. So this will be my my component, and I see that right now the X button is very close to the edge of the input by itself. So in this case, I would select all the components, and I would add them in a individual outer layouts. Yes, so it should be 16 and 16. That's the way. Let's say again. So we 8. Too much. Let's go with some exceptions. Okay. Yeah, now it's better. So this will be the way that now we're going with this approach. Okay, let's check again. We test everything. If I change the label text, like let's say address, too many S, and say Baker Street, and I would like it to be a field, right? So the state will be filled. Filled Change the color of it, and I need the leading icon. And important thing, we could again nest the icon. The leading icon is this one. Okay, in this case, when I'm working on the component by itself, I can say that this one, it's already a house, but let's say it's a location pin, like this, Baker Street, whatever. Okay, now I see that when I close the our text, our hint text, I still have a space here. So this is interesting because I have a fixed height for some reason. Now I need to fix this and say, okay, hug. See, it's very important to check component you just created, to try it all the possible options and see what doesn't work. So far, it's good. Now we need to go to the sizes. So we need to have the same sizes with the button. So actually what the idea, pretty often we have input with the button beside the work like and the same molecule. In this case, the sizes should be aligned with our button. Let's see how it will work. So we have a component with input and we have a button here. Okay, for example, we don't have a label for this category, and we see it's smaller. Okay, so button by itself, we'd say search, for example, 7. And it's not definitely a drop-down style, and we don't need a leading icon. But this one will have search. And that's what we will need to align. Please. Auto layout, align. Okay. That was interesting. So we're saying 8, and that's how it will look. It's slightly bigger, which is not perfect. So maybe we need to adjust our input by itself and say it is fixed, actually. And it will be instead, or we can increase the padding to not, again, exception now 4-point system to 6. So now we have 28. Okay, and this will be our smallest component. So now let's go here. I will do like this. I will keep this one. We will test it after when I set the sizes. Okay, so going with this, I create a new component out of it and say input. Okay, now I need to create a property with variants that say size. And we have small. So it will be the same sizes, so we can manage easily when they are together. Okay, I need a break. Let's create here auto layout. Set this to medium. And another one will be large. Okay, our auto layout definitely needs to be bigger gaps, something like this, because we also will go to see, we have, if you remember, 28, 32, 36, that's what we need to create here. So we're saying that our medium will have, we need to have 32. Right now it's 28, so we need 4 more. It will be like we going with 8 pixels paddings. Or maybe we just increase the size of the text, because we definitely could have bigger text. But because it's fixed, it's not Hagen, we would need to change this one, yes. The size of the label, I will keep the same. I don't see a real necessity to change it, but the internal text, the value of the input by itself, yes, definitely we're going with this. And one, oof. Yes, okay, so this one is 8, 9, 10. How many we need? 36, yes. So we have the sizes, we have small, we have medium, and the large. So input, okay, I keep the input here. Let's see how it will work here. So I first select one of the components, place it here. Again, I need to nest it first. I always forget nesting this stuff, because I think that by default they are here, it's already enough. Okay, so we're going here and saying, okay, I don't need label. I don't need, well, leading icon, yes, which will be actually search. What else? A drop down style, no. X icon, okay. And we're going to hint text to hide hint text. Okay, so now we're going with the other options. When I'll say this one now will be a medium, and the button also will be medium, and I will see they are matching by size. That's great. And the last check we're going is with the large and large. What if this will be success? Oh, something going on. Or maybe opposite, I put instead of numeric because this search is for phone number or something. Maybe, I don't know. We need to give it an error here, and it will be like this. And it would be nice to have a hint text in this case. But also we align by top. I will put now input on the section also. Call it input. Okay, and what left is pills, spinner, and progress bar. So this, guys, is pretty simple, but pills is another complex component because it should cover also many different colors, because pills, they have different colors usually. Could have icon, leading, trailing, X button, so you can delete it, and also could have different sizes. So it's pretty much the same structure. So very briefly, I will show you how actually to work with builds. I will show maybe just the base component, okay, because this is pretty much what a button has. Again, I will take only this right now. Go in here, an extra space, and let's start with the build. So that's what we have. Let's say pill placeholder. Should be left line. Yeah. Okay. We have icon. Also, pill could have an avatar. And I already see that for the PL 16 could be, could be pretty big, but we're going with this one. So leading icon, avatar, let's auto layout it, going with 8. Also, it's pretty often the drag handle. Okay, I never remember the name of the drag handle, so I need to check it in the Font Awesome website. So I would place it like this. We go in here like this. It should be solid, definitely, and lighter color, something like gray 600. Maybe it's too much, but we'll see what the background will have for our pills. We also, as I mentioned, would need an icon after. I would go with the close button when we cancel this selection, like on the filters, for example. I believe that's the basic of basic. If something missed, well, sorry about this, but we're going with this component. Now we need to set the paddings for our pills. Let's go with, started with 8 and maybe 4. Keep it, small. The border radius 24, and we'll add some fill. We're going with light one, something like this. So this will be our pill. Now we need to create a component out of it, and we definitely need to create a property. First will be a variant. We will say the style or the color. Let's say maybe color will be easier to understand later on. So we start with warning. This is maybe warning or yellow or orange, or yellow slash orange. Okay, now we need to set booleans. We're saying they are leading items. And it means the whole this block with handle, the drag handle, the icon, and the avatar need to auto layout it and set it as the leading item. So in this case, we don't need one by one switch off them. When we use the pill, just one boolean click and the whole leading removed. Going ahead, we need to set boolean for the drag handle. Yes, we need the boolean for icon, and we need the boolean for avatar. And we need the last one is X icon, X button, and text, which we use the same as pill value. and it will call now pill placeholder. Okay, that's the basic. Now we need to set all of them. So we're going to drag handle, icon, and avatar. And this guy is our icon, and text is, okay, we have just the value, pill value. Okay, so let's quickly check that it's working actually as expected, nothing is missed. So we have the pill, right? We're saying, okay, we have leading or have no leading. I have no button. So this is just the pill with text. And I see that could be nice, a bit bigger the paddings for this. So we go in here and increasing to 12. Yeah, this will be definitely better. We keep 4 on the top for the small size. Now we see what else. So export and good. This icon, and I say I don't need actually icon, just the avatar or opposite avatar, but not icon. This will be the way, and maybe just even the drag handle, something like this. Okay, perfect. Now we can continue with the options we have. So we need more variants, and all these variants, they will be just the the field. It should be hog, please hog. All the variants will be related to the color only. So whatever it will be, the amount, I don't know which will be. Let's say so 2, 4, 6 colors. Okay, let's go with this first. So what we already have, blue. I just because we don't have really, okay, let's say gray, and I believe red we have, right, already red, and there are another blue, but I don't know, I believe it's just 500, so not help us much. And let's go to our success. Don't be scary, I just need to find this the original tone. Okay, and what is missing in all of this is maybe purple or something like this. Okay, first we need to disconnect and find something purple-ish. Oh, it's actually not bad. So imagine this our pills. We're going with set blue, gray, pink, or error. Let's say go with pink. Actually, green and purple. Purple. I will change this to yellow to be yellow. Okay, so this is the way. And we're saying this is underlined, and we're saying this is a pill base. And now we're going with the sizes. Okay, create a component, and I need to do a variant, and it will be inside and say the padding here will be 8 and 16, and the text, we need to adjust the text. It already was the biggest. Yeah. Okay, that's the issue. Okay, that will be the small 12. Okay, yeah, so here we're going with 2. And now we're going with 3. I mean with 1. And in this case, we can actually slightly adjust the icons. Something like this, because this is bigger by itself. Text and would be nice to balance with this one. Okay, so we go in, the property name is size, small, medium, and large. Large is the same. Yeah, you didn't change the padding here. Well, I don't know where you can use this pill, but okay, let's go with this one. Anyhow, so why actually it is a complex component? Because, okay, I said just one option, but you can have a different type of pills. It could be just text pill. It could be a different shape pill, like chips, with more squared way, just you use it just for the filters, or any other options. It could be different variants, and it should be all in base also somehow. But we have what we have right now. It's good enough to go. Let's check how it works. Okay, so we're going with medium, and we're going with large, and we're going with pink, and we need icon. No, we need icon. We don't need like handle and avatar and X button, and we're saying hello world. Okay, and the icon also should be nested here. That we didn't do. It should be this no need. This icon definitely needs. Okay. Avatar sizes, I wouldn't play with this here. So we're going just with the icon by itself and say hello. Oh, the hand wave. Okay, I believe it's hand wave or something, but I don't remember. Wave. Yay. Okay. And it looks pretty small on this, but it's also not bad. So this is it. This how works the pill. And in general, if I change now, the size should be all the same. Pretty much, yeah. So then we can change the color. This that's it. Maybe the text could be better in terms of weight, but again, as we go in with this system of certain typography, there's no option like you select the size and then select the weight. So that's we have what we have. I put it quickly on the section and I call it okay. And I believe the progress bar and the spinner we can skip because this is like very clear. There are no secrets how to do this. If I'm wrong, just let me know and I will explain you in another video. That's all, guys. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you got something useful and found it interesting, at least a part of it. Let me know if something is missing there, and I can maybe record another video specifically for missing stuff. But I believe I covered the most basic elements, except maybe checkboxes and etc. That are controllers. But in general, we covered all the atoms, the complexity of it that we could face, and next time we will talk about molecules. So I hope you leave the comments if you like it, and please subscribe to the more video stories. Bye bye!